blonde walked into an electronics store and asked, "How much is this TV?" The salesman replied, "Sorry, we don't sell to blondes." The next day, she returned disguised as a brunette and asked the same question. Again, the salesman said, "Sorry, we don't sell to blondes." Determined, she came back the following day as a redhead and asked, "How much is this TV?" The salesman still said, "Sorry, we don't sell to blondes." Frustrated, she asked, "How do you know I'm a blonde? I came in as a brunette and a redhead." The salesman replied, "Because that's not a TV, it's a microwave." A man and his wife were on their honeymoon after a long and happy courtship. They decided to explore the scenic mountain passes of Europe on horseback. As they crossed a small stream, the woman's horse stumbled slightly, causing her to jolt in the saddle. Once they were across, the man dismounted, walked over to her horse, stared it in the eyes, and calmly said, "That's one." He got back on his horse, and they continued riding. A little while later, her horse tripped over a fallen branch. Again, the man dismounted, looked the horse dead in the eyes, and said, "That's two." They rode on. As the sun began to set, her horse slipped once more on a mossy slope. The man calmly dismounted, helped his wife off the horse, then walked to the front of the animal, stared into its eyes, and said, "That's three." Then, without a word, he pulled a pistol from his vest and shot the horse dead. His wife, horrified, yelled, "What is wrong with you? That was completely unnecessary." The man turned to her, stared into her eyes, and said firmly, "That's one." A monster went to the doctor with a small branch growing out of his head. The doctor examined him and said, I have no idea what this is." A week later, the branch had sprouted leaves and blossoms. "I'm stumped," said the doctor, "but try taking these pills." A month later, the monster returned, now with a full tree growing from his head. A few weeks after that, a tiny pond appeared at the base of the tree, complete with bushes and little woodland creatures, all on top of his head. The doctor took one look and exclaimed, "Aha! I finally know what it is. You've got a beauty spot." Eager for his first assignment, a young auditor was a bit nervous, especially when he found out he'd be auditing a rabbi. As he went through the books, everything seemed in order. The finances were meticulous, and the rabbi appeared to be quite frugal. But the auditor, hoping to have a little fun, decided to throw in some odd questions. "Rabbi," he began, "I noticed you purchase a lot of candles." "Yes," said the rabbi. "Well, what do you do with all the candle drippings?" The rabbi nodded thoughtfully. "Good question. We actually collect them. When we have enough, we send them back to the candle maker, and every so often they send us a free box of candles." The auditor blinked, a bit surprised by the logical answer. Not wanting to give up, he tried again. "I also saw a lot of cookie purchases. What do you do with the crumbs?" "Ah, yes," said the rabbi. "We collect those too. When we've gathered enough, we send them back to the bakery, and from time to time they send us a free box of cookies." The auditor, now getting a bit frustrated, leaned in with a smirk. "All right then, Rabbi. What do you do with all the foreskins from the circumcisions?" Without missing a beat, the rabbi replied, "Oh, we don't waste those either. We collect them, and when we have enough, we send them to the IRS." "The IRS?" the auditor asked, bewildered. "Yes," the rabbi said calmly, "and about once a year, they send us a little dick like you."